Welcome to One on One with Jane. I'm your host, and today I have Marguerite Baca on my show. She's actually from LA and she's an actress. Actually, you know what happened? That night when you actually came online, guess what happened? You said something. I was actually trying to close down the computer. I have a hard time relaxing. So I was closing it up. I was listening to your voice, and it inspired me. Let me tell you why. I hate to mention it. I've been going through hell and back, and I turned on my computer and I went online live and I saw you talking, and I was relating to what you were saying, and I was trying to organize things, and that's when I tried relaxing. I never relaxed about the whole day. I'm doing things. Even while I was driving, I was trying to catch up with everybody that tries to call me on the phone when I'm driving. But the thing is, all I could think of is you said something, I don't have it memorized, but you said something that was inspiring. And I was thinking, this lady has to be my talk show. Or I used to have a talk show. It went from a talk show to a podcast. That's why I used to have people. It's in Michigan.
So, and this might help keep the direction for this podcast. When you were listening, you associated me with relaxing somehow. Something inspired you to relax.
I was thinking of all the positive things. Then I was thinking you sound like you're very smart to get to know. So and I commented. I forgot what I said because I'm kind of tired now. But you said something that actually I could relate to at that moment because of what I was dealing with. Stupidity, like I usually do. But it's not stupidity. It's just I hate when people put words in my mouth, accuse me of things I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not a liar. I'm not certain things. You know, I have people that could back me up. Now I have to read. So I know you actually won an award. Could you please tell me more about what projects you were in?
Well, hi, Jane, and thank you for inviting me on your show.
You're welcome.
Yes. Well, I was born and raised in Los Angeles, and of course, that's the whole Hollywood scene there. The eccentric, creative artists, performers there, and so it was a very natural for me just be part of that. It was no big deal.
Yeah. But how'd you win that award? Going back to that award idea.
You mentioned the Emmy Awards. So what happened? This was interesting because like I said, I was born and raised in LA. I was doing all of these, film and some commercials and lots of musicals. And then I just started feeling like it's time to maybe move someplace a little more mellow because things changed when I first moved. Growing up in LA, it was just kind of this bohemian, wildly creative scene. And then all of a sudden, this intensity started happening. Like people were coming in on busloads, I think, like from Kansas. They're coming in to become a star, be discovered at the soda counter, like they used to do. And then in a retrospect, you go, gosh, I had that opportunity. That's what happened when I left. It's like, gosh, I left LA right when things were really rolling, and I was on this A list. And then also, so what happened is this program is what won the LA Area Emmy Award. So I was just part of that program. I was an actress within that program. And so right before I moved to San Diego, I started getting hired by this, was it KOCE? I think it's now it's part of KCET now, as an actress to perform in these specials about finances. And the director hired me. The first time I went out, I played what did I play? The housewife who was like really upset because they need a new roof and they can't afford it. And how are we going to do this? And the roof is leaking and whatnot. And so they had another segment about insurance. And so this same director, there was just such a flow. He called me back. He says, hey, we want you for this other part. And so here's the cool thing, Jane. It's like when a director or somebody like that, when they call you back without an audition, that means you're on the A list, right? That's what that A list means. It's like, dang, girl, I was on that A list for a minute. But I didn't really understand the business of show business. It was just part of my life. But in retrospect, I go, dang, I was on the A-list. That director, he liked working with me so much that he just said, hey, got another part for you, come in. So I wasn't handed, hey, we give this Emmy to Marguerite. It was for the program that I was in.
Well, you don't look like the fake type. Like, you don't look like,
I don't look like the fake type, and I thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I know people associate LA with fakeness a lot, and rightly so. Shall I tell you my experience about that?
Yes.
The evolution. Yeah, growing up there, LA did not feel fake. It felt like there were genuine artists. I mean, like, what's his name? Jim Morrison, for instance. He lived in one of their little cottages in the Venice Beach canals. And I got to live there for a little while. I lived in one of the cottages. But all those cottages eventually were torn down and made into mini mansions. Oh. Pretty much like cottage size, but built up.
Oh.
Squished next to each other. And so people like that genuine artist, let's see, one of the Lenny Kravitz, Lisa Bonet, they all lived around there at the same time. What's his name? Slash, who played, guitar for Guns N' Roses.
Were you friends with any of the famous people?
Pardon me?
Are you friends with any famous people, or are you still friends with them?
Oh, no, we're not friends. I'm not, really close with any of these people. But I'm just saying, there were these genuine artists there when I was growing up. And Jim Morrison, going as far back as like the Jim Morrison from the Doors and whatnot. No, I was a kid when he was around, but so there was this element of like just earthy people, eccentric too. But then it became like people wanted to go there to be discovered. So there was a mentality of not just pure creativity. Like I could feel your creativity is organic. It comes out of who you are. And it's in your DNA, apparently, from like your dad. And so what happened as I was growing up there, the scene changed. So there was it's yours.
And I had an art club years ago called the Animation Network Club, and my first guest speaker was a guest speaker from California. His name was Ken Southworth. He worked for Disney, Warner Brothers, all the major studios. I'm talking about 1995, before anything happened online. Years ago. He passed away. His name was Ken Southworth, and he told me I could always do retail when I'm out in California. But I went out to California. I had an opportunity years ago. I didn't take it because I didn't feel like I was ready to work at one of the major studios. Before computers took over and everything, it was called Roman Film or Film Roman.
I had to feel calm, even as a child. And so I think I put a prayer out. I do remember I put a prayer out like, there's something inside of me I can tap into. I just knew it. And how do I? And so I saw this ad for meditation and yoga. When I was a teenager, it was in the magazine Psychology Today.
Uh-huh.
And it stopped me in my tracks, this ad. Do you want peace? Do you want harmony? All this cliched stuff. And I thought, yeah, that's it for me. And so I ordered these lessons in the mail, and I developed a dedicated practice at age 13 to calmness. And so, meanwhile, I was doing these practices that got me deeper and more deeply connected. So we got a lot of similarities here. This love of calm, and also the arts, being creative spirits, free creative spirits. So this calm, I found teachers, a few other spiritual teachers. My family took us to musicals and just immersed in the arts and the meditation. That was something I initiated for myself. Nobody else in my family was into it. And so I started getting this deeper connection to my calmness. You have the calmness within you too, Jane. It's just a matter of learning how to connect with it. And you keep connecting, and you just deepen that connection.
That's what my business partner, my writing partner, actually, Roy, he doesn't really go on Facebook. He said, I don't like social media, but he said he wants to teach me how to calm down, to meditate. I was like, oh, I know how to meditate when I want to, So I've been trying to meditate, but then I get ideas again. I have a hard time relaxing, but I'm getting better at it. I even have a yoga DVD. You know.
All right, and that is what one of the things that happens. That's a result, like you were saying, you get ideas. So when you calm down, that's creative inspiration happens. People think, oh, let me just not even think. When when you come into that calmness, that's when the inspiration comes. It's like if you're bitter and stressed and angry, the creative juices aren't going to flow. So it's coming to that calm, innocent place. So that's super, quite natural, Jane, for when you do come into that calm place, and apparently you're in some kind of space there, because you are really creative.
I'm gonna make you laugh. You're gonna think it's really funny. When guys say they're laid back, that means they don't think. And I said that during my comedy show before last year because I stopped last year, so I could focus on filmmaking and other important things. And when I said that, every guy agreed and they started laughing. I said, you know why guys say they're laid back? Because they don't want to think. And then one guy said, you're right. Yeah, I had guys agree at a comedy show.
Yeah, if they're laughing, it must be true.
Hmm.
They believe. Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. Oh yeah, I'm laid back. So yeah, I had a thought once. Yeah.
David Miller wanted to hire me.